I forgot to mute my mic, y'all. I had my mic muted for 5 minutes. First of all, I just want to welcome everybody to the IWN YouTube channel. This is your Evil Lives Here. This appeared September the 10th, 2023. Watch along. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, turn on the notifications, and acknowledge me because I'm on the road to 700 subscribers. So please smash that like button. Let's get at least 6 likes in here. And share the stream to Facebook, Instagram, and all other social media platforms so we can get more people in the live chats. Let's invite more people here. I don't want to have one person. I don't want to just have one person. I want to have at least 5 people in here watching, listening. So the first thing we're going to be watching is Evil Lives Here, episode 16, season 13. And it's titled She Knew It Was Goodbye. If it's titled that, that's how you know it's going to be a pretty good, interesting documentary, drama, mystery, crime episode. Because it says here that Ginger knows her sister Paige is troubled as she feels entitled to her family's undivided attention. It becomes a monster when she doesn't get it. Over time, Ginger watches as Paige abuses and ultimately murders the person she cares for the most. So we're going to go ahead and dive deeper into these females' lives, dive deeper into Paige's life, and dive deeper into watching this episode to see what this really is about. So here we go, folks. Here goes nothing. Then it says here, okay, this just appeared on the screen. It says here that Paige continued to push her boundaries with increasingly diligent behavior. The way that her daughter and her mother's describing her, I think they're describing her and viewing her as a fucking murderer. Well, we will find out at the end why they view her as a murderer and a monster. We'll find out.
To me,
don't worry, we haven't got to the good part yet, but it'll get to the good part soon. Haven't got to the good part yet.
She just kind of becoming trouble with a capital T. This is a photograph of Paige on her great adventure. She and a bunch of her friends decided that they were going to head to Lake Tahoe, broke into my dad's apartment, took a stereo and some other things, took all his booze, and hit the road.
Oh shit, I dropped something. Sorry, y'all. Something dropped out of my hand.
Against my mom.
That probably scared the shit out of y'all. If it did, I'm sorry.
Because it's his car. They make it as far as Colorado. Paige and her friends are arrested.
Spends
a weekend in jail.
Probably extorting drugs.
And was there when she was taken to court.
See, this is the problem, people. They're all about money, attention, and drugs. It's not about that shit. People need to stop that. It's not about that, man. I don't know why people think it's about money, attention, and drugs. It's not about that.
I think she's going to learn a lesson from it.
Yeah, she got to learn a lesson from it. Got to learn a lesson and realize that it's not about drugs. Stop doing it. You know it ain't good for you, so why are you doing it?
Looking at how happy Paige is in this picture and knowing how much trouble she's causing in this photo.
Drinking Henny and all this beer ain't good for you. Why are you doing it? I see some of my female friends doing it. It ain't good drinking all that stuff. It messes up your freaking livers, your freaking private area and shit.
Tried hard to see my aunt, and she kept trying to give her a chance after chance to, improve herself. She still loved her despite everything that had already happened, and she really wanted me to have a relationship with her.
Oh, but how did that relationship? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to find out.
Which my grand made for me. And
she doesn't look too happy.
Of the attention that I was receiving.
Don't let the bugs bite. She don't look too happy.
We were sitting down eating dinner. Paige decided that she was going to excuse herself to go to the restroom, and she was very audibly making herself sick. When she came back to the table, she told my grand that she was not feeling well and that they needed to leave immediately. Now, we were in the middle of eating dinner. We hadn't finished. We hadn't had any cake. My grand got up and she knew they had to leave because when Paige said it was time to leave, it was time to leave. She did this for several birthdays, including my dad. And I know that it really hurt my grand that she missed so much time with us because of Paige. But everything always had to be about her. If everything was not about her, it was a giant problem. Even as a kid, I knew that this behavior was purposely manipulative. There was something wrong with her.
Paige resented the fact that she was not everything in my mother's world.
Oh, she wasn't.
For the next
She wasn't now.
Paige was causing a multitude of problems in my mom's life. My mom started to kind of age before our eyes. I didn't realize it, of course, but that's when she started hitting Mom.
She said, what?
Talking to my mom and telling her she's just sucking me dry. She just said, what do you want me to do? You know, she's my child. I have to take care of her. I mean, I certainly didn't really think, you know, Paige is going to kill you.
Oh, God. Bro, she looks fucking scary, man. She don't scare me. Y'all probably like, what the fuck was that? Here, I'll let you listen to what the fuck that was. Oh, man. Just about how I be to people on social media, man. The evil side of me is showing.
And my gran was going to make a special dinner for me because that was, you know, one of our things. She went to the store and brought me with her because I loved grocery shopping with her. I was being a little helper. Paige called my gran.
Oh, you're being a little helper now. A happy helper?
Seriously injured.
I don't know.
And my gran had to stop everything.
I don't know what she said.
And come back to the house.
It's a pretty little woman there.
And my gran just kind of
big woman.
I
don't know.
And Paige called her.
What does she smell like? I don't know. What does she look like? She looked like a typical average big blonde woman.
In the kitchen.
With blonde hair.
Well, if she's standing, then you know she doesn't have any broken legs or anything. She's not hurt that bad.
What took you so long? Got here as fast as we could.
Paige was showing where it hurt, where she was injured. My gran just looked at it and she said, well, it doesn't look that bad.
What if we put some ice on it?
Paige did not like that answer. And gran just kind of walked away. Paige wasn't very satisfied that my gran was not distraught about this. There really was no reason for us to rush home from the grocery store. We had thought that she broke her leg or something severe like that, and she had a few bruises, and that was it.
Bosa did it on purpose.
I do think that Paige actually
purposely threw herself down the stairs.
Did it on purpose to try to
So
get
my
attention.
friend had to rush home to her and take care of her.
Maybe she's not getting enough
That's how
attention.
jealous she was of
See, that's the problem with
spending
people.
time alone with my friend.
They think
No room
it's
to
about
push anything
attention.
for anybody else. It was almost like psychopathic. She was purposely hurting herself just to get attention from people.
I told you. What did I tell you? I said it way before she did. Attention. She did that to get attention. I said it, did I not?
One summer.
Did you not? Did anybody? Hello? Hello? Is anybody awake? Did anybody not hear that? Did anybody not hear what I said?
Somebody that always
Way
wanted to
before she
play
said
with
it?
us and always
I said
wanted
it first.
to take us places,
I said
always
attention.
wanted to go to the park. Don't Taylor, I'm gonna get
Exactly
you.
what she wanted.
We were very hopeful that the summer was going to be a lot of fun. And it was at first, but Paige took it upon herself to start punishing us.
Uh-oh.
From very
It's
fun
about to get bad.
And then all of a sudden, she is paying us and punishing us.
This is not good.
When
This is
my
not
sibling
good.
would get in trouble, I would have to sit there and watch Paige spank them. It made me really uncomfortable.
Yep, and he was
that
probably screaming and crying
there
like
was a
this.
constant threat at that point. When my mom would pick us up from being babysat, my mom could sometimes tell that we were kind of upset or that we were just extra quiet and we weren't talking about how great of a day it was. Hey guys, how was it?
At that point, not enough of the pieces of the puzzle had kind of, locked together as far as my sister's behavior. So I wasn't really afraid for her to watch my kids until one day one of my kids told me that Paige had been spanking them. And I remember confronting her about it. I said, it's not okay for you to do that. It's not your job to do that, and you have no right to spank them. And she got really angry. And I said, well, I don't think this is going to work. And so I fired her. Her eyes got real narrow, and she got just kind of a mean, stony look on her face. Her hands kind of clenched. She just looked at me with just this really vengeful sort of a glance, and she stormed off. I became a lot more careful about leaving Paige with any of my kids. I was unsure how she was going to behave. And I wasn't sure I wanted to find out. If my mom was around, it was okay for my kids to be there. Because I knew that she would do whatever she had to do to protect me.
You know what that did to Paige? You know what that ultimately did to Paige? It says Paige continued to find ways to torment her family. But you're going to know what that did to Paige
Every time that I went to visit my
when she got fired?
Emotional damage.
That's exactly what
really
happened.
bad insomnia.
That's exactly what happened.
She would stay up for days and days on end. Paige used to try to play this game with me where I would stay up for as long as I could. I would be sitting on the couch watching the TV shows with her, and my eyes would start to get really heavy, and she would look over at me. She would glare at me and look really annoyed with me. She would slam her hand down on the couch or on the pillow to jolt me awake. And I guess that worked because it would scare me into being awake for a few more minutes. And so I would start to nod off again. And this particular night, Paige got really angry with me, irrationally angry with me because I could not stay up on her.
What is going on down here?
Brian brought me upstairs and tucked me in. And that's when Paige came upstairs trying to keep me from spending time with her. And was just becoming really aggressive about it. Hey, quick! Paige started trying to push through the door. That's when my grand locked the door. She started banging on the door, and she became really angry.
I'm here.
She was screaming, Taylor, come out, and I just want to spend some time with you. And then she was screaming and accusing me of not loving her anymore and not wanting to spend time with her.
What? You hate me now, Taylor? Say it to my face.
Paige started trying to break the door down just to get to me. I was very scared. I was crying. My friend kept telling me it's okay, like, nothing's gonna happen to you. I'm not gonna let her hurt you. And she just laid with me and held me. When Paige finally stopped banging on the door and stopped trying to break the door down, there was this really eerie silence. I really thought that she was here enough to do something worse. And eventually I just kind of fell asleep in my grand's arms. I was scared of her. It was weird to me to see the two different sides of Paige, like Jekyll and Hyde. Like this, switch had flipped, and I had no idea who she was. When Paige got that wound up, you never knew what she was going to do.
The virus that causes shingles is sleeping.
Paige this, Paige that. Sounds like Paige is an evil criminal monster. Well, it sounds like she is. No, she is. If there's somebody evil, you want to talk about somebody evil? Yeah. She was definitely showing signs of it. That was only half of it. That was only half of the evil she was showing. Fast forwarding it. Back on.
One of my most vivid memories with Paige was when she chose me to come with her to pick up a puppy from the animal shelter. And we got back to the house, and I could tell that my gran did not know that this was happening. My gran was starting to get really agitated with Paige, telling her that, she needed to take the dog back. They were not prepared. She did not have all the supplies for a new puppy. My gran asked me to take the puppy outside to go to the restroom while they talked. After a while, I walked in the house and immediately saw that Paige had my gran pinned to the kitchen counter. And she had a ceramic bowl above her head and was trying to bash my gran's head in with this bowl. As soon as she saw me, she dropped the bowl. My gran tried to give me her phone and tried to get me to call police. And Paige grabbed the phone and threw it across the room. All I knew was that my gran was scared. And that meant I needed to be very scared. And I ran outside. Paige's car was sitting in the garage. And I got in the car and locked the car doors. And I looked down in the cup holder, and Paige had left her cell phone in the car. I called my mom and told her what was going on, and I asked her to call the police. My mom told me that everything was going to be okay. She was going to get there before the police would. I needed to go back in the house to see if my gran was okay. When Paige saw me, she grabbed me by the arm and she had me sit on the couch. She pulled up a chair and she was just staring at me. Paige had this really feral look in her eye that made her look like wild animal. My friend told Paige to leave me alone. You know, you're scaring her. Please just let her go. Leave her alone.
Hey, she didn't do anything wrong. Stop it.
Paige looked at me with these like really dead eyes and asked me if I was scared of her yet. I really thought that Paige was gonna hurt me or even kill me. And that's when I heard my mom's voice.
Paige is threatening my kiddo. I'm not sure what I would have done in an instant if the police hadn't knocked on the door and announced, "Please let us in." That stopped everything. My daughter runs to me. Paige just looked angry. I just remember her slamming down to the basement. My mother refused to press charges. The police left.
Man, she should have pressed
Mom
charges
was
on her, man.
exhausted.
What was she thinking?
Sort of hanging her head.
That's gonna come back to haunt her. That's gonna come back to haunt her in the end.
Paige is
Watch.
beyond
Just you
trouble
watch. It's gonna come back to haunt her.
needy.
There was blood on the floor
She's a very
before it went on
dangerous
commercial.
problem, and that we all are in danger from her. I'm not sure what's going to happen. One Sunday evening, the phone rings, and it's my mom, and she's sobbing into the phone. She's saying, I can't get her to stop hitting me. And I just looked at my husband. He knew something was wrong. I said, "We will be right there." My husband and I rushed into my mom's house. And you see Paige, and she's kind of walking back and forth, sort of pacing, and she's sort of wild-eyed and kind of talking to herself. And she looked absolutely bonkers. She, with a knife, was hitting a countertop over and over and over again, gouging the countertop on the island and just leaving just this giant cut mark in it. My husband said to her, put the knife down, let's go talk. And she kind of realized that we were there and intervening. My husband, took the knife out of her hand and was trying to get her to sit down, and he was trying to take care of her. I ran upstairs to check on my mom and make sure she was okay. And she's sitting in her little chair next to the bed, and she's cowering. She just looked terrified. She told me that Paige had been hitting her and had threatened her with a knife when Mom had run upstairs and locked the door, and Paige kept banging up against it and was trying to break the door down. I don't know what would have happened if she hadn't been able to put that door between herself and Paige and managed to call me. My mom was being terrorized in her own home. I said, "You can't have her live in here anymore." I said, "It is just not safe for you."
Paige has got to go.
She's like, "You guys going home. I'm sorry I bothered you." That's what she said to me. "I'm sorry I bothered you." And I'm like, "You were under attack in your home. And that's not okay." My mother would not let me call the police. She would not let me take her to the hospital. And you feel like your hands are tied. It's a sickening feeling. This is a photograph of the countertop that Paige was stabbing the night that Mom called and said that Paige was hitting her. I was
was shocked when I saw what Paige had done to the countertop. What if that wasn't a countertop? I mean, what's next? This picture is Paige's anger, her hatred, her rage, her evilness. It was a staring.
Wow. She actually pointed at those things that said that.
I am hoping that.
Wow, man, that's crazy. That is crazy, bro. Damn. That's crazy, man.
Please. And I get to the house, and the police are already there. Mom's got bruises and welts on her face.
Oh my God. Oh,
And she's got a great big huge bruise on her arm. There's a broom nearby with like a metal handle. And she tells the police officer and me that Paige has been hitting her with this broom handle. I asked Mom, I said, do you want to press charges on her? And she said, no, I'm not going to press charges on her.
Of course she gonna say no.
Everything's okay. She's just kind of bruised and battered and sore. Meanwhile, there's paramedics coming to take Paige to the hospital. Paige is acting crazy, for lack of a better word. She was very combative. She would kind of lash out. She's trying to get loose. She got her head whipping every which way. Everybody is a SOB and this, that, and the other, and you know, just acting absolutely bonkers. And they told us they will keep Paige in the psych ward for a minimum of 24 hours. We felt pretty confident that we at least had a reprieve of a day from Paige. I was going to do everything I could, give them to my mother to not let her back in. I told my mom, I can't let her back in here. She's going to keep hurting you, and it's not going to stop. Paige was in her early 30s when these sort of episodes were occurring. I was really frustrated by the fact that Paige could basically get away with anything she wanted. There were very little consequences, if any. She's a fully grown adult who's
Damn.
out of the house, have a job, have a life.
That's messed up.
But she believed that Paige was dependent upon her, and that Paige needed her more than anything. And Paige took advantage of that.
Yep, she sure did.
Hello? And then we get the phone call from Paige saying, come and pick me up. I just remember being shocked and saying, I thought you were on a hold and it would be at least 24 hours. And she's like, oh no, they've let me go already. I remember telling her, we are not coming to get you. You're not welcome here right now. So I called my husband and I had him bring me some stuff, including a gun. I felt safer knowing I had one if something were to escalate.
Paige had actually broken down and contacted my dad and asked for money to be put up in a hotel. And that's where she was staying, was in a hotel. I was nervous that somehow or another that Paige might try to come home. If I could have protected my mom, I would have shot her in a heartbeat.
Wasn't long before their mother allowed Paige back into their home.
Mom gave in. She let her back in. I'm like, why did she do that? Mom just told me she's my child. And I have to take care
She's
of
her child. Yeah, of course. But your child is dangerous.
It was a horrible codependent relationship. It was just an ugly, vicious cycle that just went on and on and on. We couldn't get Mom to stop caring about and for Paige. Her love and her devotion, they were her greatest faults. Paige was proving herself to be more dangerous and unhinged even. It was getting more frequent and more horrific all the time. My son's birthday and Paige's birthday are one day apart. We kind of always combine the two of them and have just a big birthday dinner celebration. We're back at our house and Mom and I are talking about the birthday dinner. And Mom just said the oddest thing to me because I was asking her, I said, I know your car lease is coming up soon. I said, what are you going to do with that?
Have you given it more thought?
To the car? And she just kind of looked at me and just said, yeah, I don't think I'm going to need that car much longer.
But you need a car, Mom.
And I said, what do you mean? She's like, I just don't think I'm going to need it. And it was just kind of an odd, weird kind of thing to say. And I was like, okay, and I just kind of brushed it off.
It's getting late.
We just chit-chat a little bit more, and then Mom is getting ready to go, and she's kissing and hugging everybody goodbye.
Taylor, I'm giving Grandma a hug.
And I thought that my friend seemed particularly adamant about everybody coming to give her a hug and saying goodbye and everything. Looking back, I really think that she knew that something was going to happen to her that night.
And it just felt really strange. I kind of feel like she was saying goodbye to all of us, like a goodbye. To wake up. Mom, the police are here. Wake up, you have to come downstairs. Open the door, and there is an officer standing there, and he says, I need to speak with you. I remember even asking the officer, what did Paige do now? I knew in my gut, in my heart, that Paige had finally killed her. And then he, as gently as you can ever tell anybody, told me that my mom was gone and that my sister had been arrested for murdering her.
Well, we knew it was a matter of time before it.
Just crying.
We knew. It was only a matter of time before it was going to happen.
Think or feel. I just felt sick.
It was only a matter of time before it was going to happen.
Paige answered the door.
Hold on a second, y'all. My game is still on. Somehow, I don't know how, my game is on. Why my game is on. I thought I had pushed it to a rest mode. I guess I did.
She had been taking a nap and came upstairs from the basement and found her mother dead on the floor. My sister is completely covered, mouth, shirt, arms, legs, everything in blood. No one understands why this person would be completely covered in blood if they were coming upstairs from a nap. Then she backtracked and told them that drug dealers must have broken in and her mom because they couldn't find Paige.
It was all a lie. She lied.
Most people have things out for you.
Fake tears. She's faking.
Former drug users. And why is that? You owe them money?
First of all, I don't know how those poor detectives could bear to sit in that room and listen to her make up these absolutely ridiculous stories.
She was lying.
After another. And that doesn't work.
She killed her
Then
mother,
she
clearly.
tells them that there were 3 girls trick-or-treating and it's March. No way, no how that could happen.
Little girls.
Yeah, she's clearly lying.
I don't think a single person in that room believed a word she was saying.
I want you to be honest with me. Okay? Did you do this to your mom? Okay. And I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm not trying to be mean to you. I'm sure your story is not making sense. Okay?
Look at him. Got her.
Why not lie? Did you do this? No. Makes me just want to throttle her. You know? I mean, that's the Paige I knew. Right there. This is a picture of Paige right after she murdered my mom. Because she looks like somebody who slaughtered a person. This is my mother's blood. That is my mother's blood. And this person is the one who killed her. There is nothing behind those eyes. I've never seen this photograph before. It's sickening that I never want to see it again.
Paige's actions were far worse than anyone could ever imagine.
Later on, I learned, what had happened that evening. Mom had returned to her house after leaving all of us, and Mom had asked Paige what she wanted for the combination birthday dinner, and Paige wouldn't give her an answer. So my mom made lasagna, which at the time was my son's favorite meal. Paige was very, very upset about it, that it wasn't what she had wanted, and so she and my mom got in a verbal argument. Paige grabbed the knife block and it hit my mother in the head with the knife block, and then proceeded to stab her 79 times. And she bit her dozens of times. My sister obliterated my mother. She broke off knife tips in my mother. How much do you hate someone to do that? To stab them 79 times? Paige is an absolute monster.
That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And she smiled in the mugshot.
Any human being able to act that way, especially somebody that you knew and somebody you loved and were close to. When Paige killed my friend, she took away possibilities of my friend seeing me graduate from high school and college and me getting married and her seeing her great grandchildren. I still have nightmares. I'm on PTSD medication that is specifically for having night terrors. I would be dreaming that Paige was standing in my room watching me sleep. It really felt like she was haunting me. Like I was never going to escape her. And even though she was locked up in prison, she was still tormenting me. I think that she could kill again. She's done it before. And she probably holds a lot of anger towards us now. I think that she could kill again. She's done it before. And she probably holds a lot of anger towards us now. She would have absolutely nothing to lose if she came after us. The worst that could happen is she goes back to jail where she has friends and she has meals and she has a bed and she has everything that she needs right there. I think that if anybody were to be a target, it would be my mom.
I'm not afraid for myself. I have never been afraid of Paige. I fear for anyone who comes across her. I have absolutely no desire to see Paige or hear from her. And actually, she's not allowed to contact us. I think that she already knows that she disgusts us, disgusts me, that I think she's an animal. I think whenever you're subjected to any kind of tragedy, it changes you. And I think you have to eventually choose for yourself if you're going to let that destroy you or let it make you stronger.
I felt that someone was going to get hurt. I felt like someone was going to die. But because of our religion, no one suspected his behaviors.
Dahvonte Morgan.
All right. So now that we done watched Evil Is Here, episode 16. Now we're watching Disappeared, episode 3, where it's titled Mountain of Mystery. So it says here, in May of 2020, Dahvonte Morgan, a family man from San Francisco, disappears in a mysterious town of MT Shasta, California, as his family searches. It becomes clear the community is wary of outsiders, and his girlfriend may know more than she shares. I'm interested to find out. I'm interested to watch this and see how this unfolds. Here we go, folks.
Disappeared on May 5th, 2020.
I'm thinking every
He disappeared on May the 5th, 2020.
Where's my baby?
This dude
Family
did.
is desperate for answers.
I believe that this area in particular is known for, okay, cults, underworld fighting.
By the time we got up there, his girlfriend wasn't really helping. She was like speaking in like riddles and stuff. Like it was weird.
In my experience, she was acting way out of line.
This episode of Disappear retraces Dahvonte's last known steps.
This case does haunt me because this is not a normal case.
I'm like, if something happened to my brother like this, something happened to my brother.
Right away, I'm like, we need to get up there because this is just not like Dahvonte.
The more people who know Dahvonte's story, the greater the chance of bringing him home. Share on social media. Get the word out. Help find him. Have you seen Dahvonte Morgan?
My name is Terry, and I am Dahvonte's mother. He was born special. From day one, everyone said to him, starting with the nurses. It's his aura, It was before he even laughed. It was just him. I guess his amazing eyes. He's always had an amazing soul. I have never met a person that didn't take to him.
Dahvonte is my big brother. I know growing up around Haight-Ashbury, San Francisco, like I wanted to be just like him. I wanted to be just like him. I probably could have got like a wish, but they was like, you could turn into a big brother if you wanted to. I probably would have did. He was always like popular. All the girls loved him. My brother is very musically inclined. He loves to freestyle, make music. He likes to sing, play the drums, and play the piano.
My name's Ruby. I'm Dahvonte's auntie. Dahvonte had a stuttering problem for about, I want to say about 11, 12 years of his life. And it probably would take him about 5 minutes to get a whole full. The only time he didn't have a stuttering issue was when he was singing or rapping, which is crazy. You can get him to entertain, perform anywhere in a drop of an eye.
He sang in the choir and he helped with the kids in church. He's a leader.
So family meant everything to Dahvonte. He never missed a baby shower, a birthday party, kid's birth, christening. He was there. His comfort zone was home, church, our neighborhood here in San Francisco, and he really didn't go too much past that.
He didn't like to be away from home much. He was big on like staying close to the ones that he loved. But in 2019, my brother met a new girl and they started dating.
Dahvonte met his girlfriend at the Stone Grove concert in the Avenue, San Francisco. It was pretty spontaneous, a fluke. They met eyes and she never left his sight.
My brother was doing different things and he was being happy. She brought him to Vegas. She was bringing him to beaches and stuff. I've never seen my brother do these kind of things. These are always things I've always wanted my brother to do.
She was about 20 years older than him, give or take. But the girl was smart. She was a life coach at one point, and she was able to pull Dahvonte out of his comfort zone.
I never wanted to make an issue about her age. I just wanted my son to be happy, and live life, but I did see, a lot of red flags.
Dahvonte and his girlfriend love to go to a lot of places, and on May 4th, they decided to drive off to Mount Shasta, which is 4 hours north of San Francisco. They were just doing a bed and breakfast type of deal. And this nephew's birthday party was going to be on May 5th, so he was planning to return home to San Francisco the next day for the birthday party.
Well, I called his girlfriend's phone knowing that my brother's phone was broken. And he seemed pretty at peace and calm and happy about being somewhere different. It was the last time we spoke.
My name is Tessa Klor. I was born and raised in Mount Shasta, and I'm currently the mayor. Mount Shasta is a small, close-knit community. We do have a lot of different visitors because people want to come to a small town and disconnect for a while. And Mount Shasta definitely appeals to those that want to come here for spiritual purposes. Some believe that the mountain itself provides healing aspects or properties to them. We also have the headwaters of the Sacramento River that are said to hold some cleansing and spiritual aspects as well.
And I know his girlfriend is spiritual. She likes to collect the crystals and sage and all that.
Always talking about the stars and the numbers and alignment, all this stuff.
On May 5th, 2020, that night, my brother's girlfriend called me and told me, man, we got into an argument. He left, and he hasn't came back. You know how Dahvonte is. I don't remember hearing distraught or worry in her voice. And I think that played a big part in me kind of being okay, well, let's give it some time. Because I know it's not arguing. I felt like he could just walk off. I feel like it's cool. It didn't really sound like it was a pressed emergency when she reached out to me. I just remember initially thinking it wasn't real weird.
Once Thursday, May 7th came, the girlfriend called Anthony, his brother, and said that Dahvonte was missing since Tuesday, May 5th. Right away, I'm like, we need to get up there because this is just not like Dahvonte. She called me and I said, we're on our way, but I need you to go to the police report. Not now, but right now.
My name is Sergeant Pretty with the Mount Shasta Police Department. The official missing persons report was filed on May 7th at 9:16 a.m. by Dahvonte Morgan's girlfriend. Dahvonte Morgan's girlfriend initially told us that they checked into a local motel and got a rental car on the 4th of May. She said in the early hours of May 5th, she was awoken by Dahvonte to come outside and have a cigarette. She was mad at Dahvonte for waking her to come outside and have a cigarette. They realized that they left the hotel key inside the hotel, and they called the after-hours service to get let back in. An on-call manager came down and let them both back in.
Dahvonte's comfort zone was home, but due to where he was at, he didn't even want to go smoke a cigarette out there by himself.
They continued to fight till the early hours of May 5th. At that point, she said that they even walked their separate ways to cool off. So they both left the hotel.
She just put it like he just walked off on her, so we didn't take it to the extreme. We kind of took it with a grain of salt in a way because this is what he does. He'll get away from her if he needs to.
She wanted to see the sunrise, and Dahvonte went the other direction. In the morning on May 5th, she saw Dahvonte on the other side of the street on North Mount Shasta Boulevard, walking in a different direction. She stated that he's still mad, so she continued back to the motel. Dahvonte Morgan's girlfriend explained that this is common in their relationship, that when they get into fights, they both agree to go separate ways for cooling off. But now it's been over 24 hours and this is not normal. Dahvonte Morgan's girlfriend told the officer that he was wearing black sweatpants and had on 49er flip-flops. And she said that She didn't act she acted, loony. She was all over the place. She did not seem too concerned or sad or upset that he has not been found. In my experience, she was acting way out of line for someone that she should be caring about filing a missing persons report.
Usually missing people in Mount Shasta need a rescue on the mountain or that type of thing. So to hear that someone could potentially be missing and they're not off of a hiking trail, it was definitely alarming.
Her family, we went up to Mount Shasta immediately. At that point, I was really worried. I was spooked. I just remember being afraid. Like, what if we can't find him?
On the drive up there, I'm thinking every moment, every second of the day, where's my baby and what happened to him? Where did he go?
I just was like, just on save the day mode. I know that his girlfriend knows more. She was with him, and I won't answer.
This season, world-class chefs face 3 unstoppable fights.
Before Dahvonte went missing, he was going through some things emotionally. He was in a very, very hurt space.
In 2017, he was shot on our front porch from a bullet that was meant for someone else. He was shot in the pelvis and in the hand.
It wasn't his fault. He wasn't a person that was involved in like any problems or any type of street issues. He was definitely like missed target. Somebody rode by and thought he was somebody else. I know that did affect him, like, 'cause that is a safe haven, it's his home.
What a freak accident to get shot on his own porch for a bullet hit from someone else. So pretty much at 25 years old, he felt as if his life had stopped.
I think what a lot of people don't think of or understand is like when you get shot, there's the physical pain you got to recover from, and there's like a big traumatic like mental thing you have to like overcome, and it's hard. So he definitely did like smoke weed or like drink some alcohol, like to help cope with the pain.
He wouldn't let it keep him down. He pushed himself to heal more quickly than he should have. And it caused him to walk with a slight limp. And it caused him to be depressed. Like, why me? I'm a good person. I'm good to everybody. Why did this happen to me?
He still seemed grateful and hopeful, but he admitted that he just wasn't well. It got hard for him.
It's kind of private anyway. He might want to share that much. But I pretty much had to push him, to let him know that life is not over and God has a plan for him. That's why he's still here.
He definitely like wanted to get like clean, wanted to be sober. He used to go to the gym every day, like, and that kept him sober. He definitely was trying to like still progress, but it's hard. It's hard.
that's something that I think the girlfriend definitely took advantage of and kept him like a carrot on the string with. Like she kept the alcohol and the bottles going because I think she did drugs herself.
Before he went missing, they definitely fought a lot. I know that they weren't a happy couple. I would say that.
She was very, very demanding and she wanted to always like pick a fight. She wanted to make sure that she was being heard, let's put it that way.
Even though they had weird and irritating long arguments, I never thought about my brother just go missing.
We went up to Mount Shasta on Thursday, May 7th, and my ride going up Mount Shasta was so blurry. I need to get a conversation with the girlfriend. I need to talk to her right now.
By the time we got up there, like his girlfriend wasn't really helping. She was like speaking in like riddles and stuff. Like it was weird.
When I talked to her, she made sure to get this narrative of like him just walking off in the sunset with a pina colada versus explaining that this is just something he would never do.
You could tell her mind was like spinning. It was spinning. It was constantly going, and it was stuff that it was just different stuff, and she was just blurting it out. She's like, "Oh, Lamonte's here. I can feel him. He's here. Oh, I think it's crazy, but like this don't make sense because if the trees started talking to the moon, and the moon started talking to the star, like she was doing stuff like that to the point that it had us. Oh my god, like, we couldn't even like fully like take her serious so much, but we were trying to because she was the only person that was there, but she felt like everything she had us doing was like throwing us off. I'm like, why is she crazy? What happened? That was the thing. My brother like this, I'm asking my brother, why is she sleeping?
Something was wrong. And thinking back now, something happened to him while in her presence. I believe that the girlfriend had something to do with Dahvonte going missing.
Her narrative was almost like derailing purposely to give this like voluntary missing story.
In my opinion, the police department didn't take it seriously by him being a 28-year-old. And to them, he probably got tired of her and walked away. Knowing my child, I tried to enforce them to do more.
I feel like there's certain type of disappearances that get more recognition than someone like my nephew. I feel like because he's a Black African American man, later in his age too, just like kind of just falls off people's back.
Maybe Dahvonte Morgan just went and got another hotel and didn't want to be around the girlfriend. But as soon as the family showed up, we could see just by speaking to them that they were extremely concerned, completely opposite of how Dahvonte's girlfriend was acting, and we knew it was serious. And it sounds like he was an extremely family-oriented guy, and he would not just voluntarily go missing without at least calling his brother. Dahvonte Morgan's girlfriend told us that his phone was broken, so a ping might not bring up an accurate location to search. So unfortunately, our records were not helpful.
The police didn't have any information for us. No reason. I was frustrated.
So they had our first official flyers and gathered a search party in the woods. It's not a good combination. We love you, Vontae. You know we love you. We out here.
We'll be on the street, somebody passing by in a car, walking on, excuse me, my brother's missing, can I please just give you a flyer?
Meanwhile, the girlfriend keeps saying, on this day, Dahvonte's going to show up, he's going to manifest, he's going to reappear and all this. So at this point, like, everybody's scared of her, like, what is she trying to do to us? I mean, what happened to my son?
Then we got a report from a local resident that she had remembered a couple fighting outside of her house on May 5th, the day Dahvonte Morgan went missing. The resident is located just north of the Coal Creek Inn, and she heard them fighting at 9:30 in the morning. Dahvonte's girlfriend initially told us that they did not speak to each other that morning. This contradicts what the witness saw and heard with her timeline. We are now growing way more suspicious of the girlfriend, but we don't have any hard evidence against the girlfriend.
All she kept saying is that where she was emotionally and what she was going through while she was up in Mount Shasta, and I remember me stopping her and saying, I don't care about you. I don't. I'm here for my nephew. She needed to go home, back to San Francisco. So we asked his girlfriend to leave, and we never really heard from her after that.
Due to the strange circumstances with Dahvonte Morgan's girlfriend, we did change it to not voluntary missing, but to suspicious missing persons case. I believe she knows more than she's giving. We don't have anything to charge her with, hold her on.
I was just like, I'm not gonna get any answers, and I'm like, at this point, I didn't trust nobody to find my brother but me.
Kohl's epic deals mean you can save on all things fall. Bring home bath towels and pillows from the big one for $3.99. Women's long sleeve tees for $7.99. Footwear for the family at $34.99 and under. Plus, earn Kohl's cash at Kohl's.
This just is got the keys to what you want and what you need.
Not trying to get no copyright.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty absorbs spills like a sponge and is 2 times more absorbent, so you use less. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Yeah, with Metro, there's no.
All right, y'all. This is the Disappeared episode 3 is on commercial right now. I'm gonna get some ice cream out. Oh, it's back on now.
Okay, as best we can through surveillance. Surveillance is really huge for us in Mount Shasta because we are such a small agency in such a small town. We don't have CCTV like a lot of bigger cities. So when someone does go missing in the city limits of Mount Shasta, we immediately try to hop on that and go to local businesses just so we can see if they have cameras that caught anything. We were able to obtain 10 different camera angles. The first time we located on May 5th, the day he went missing, we have him walking you see him crossing the street at Mount Shasta Boulevard, now heading west on Lake Street. We catch him walking again west on Lake Street, where he continues walking. And then we'll see him cross Lake Street and go to the local Valero gas station. So then next we know he's at Valero. So we go to Valero and try to get their surveillance system. And this is where we get Dahvonte Morgan in this clip making a purchase. So after Dahvonte Morgan made the purchase, he headed back east on Lake Street past the police department and then headed back north the way he came on North Mount Shasta Boulevard. And the next known footage we have is at the Jefferson Soul on the North Mount Shasta Boulevard, which is approximately a quarter mile north of the Cold Creek Inn. So he has passed the hotel and he's continuing to walk. Approximately 2 minutes later, he is seen passing Jefferson Soul, now heading south back towards the Gold Creek Inn on North Mount Shasta Boulevard. He also is picked up on Chestnut Street by a local crystal store on their surveillance, where he is seen heading north on Chestnut Street and then making a right-hand turn heading east on Alma Street. The next known location Dahvonte is picked up on camera is on Alma Street, heading east, and the Sisson Middle School picked him up on camera. And he's continuing to walk east on Alma Street. Sisson Middle School also picks him up on another camera, continuing on Alma Street till he hits Rockefeller. Dahvonte then is seen crossing Rockefeller before he turns west, heading down Rockefeller, which would continue back down towards the Gold Creek Inn. And he doesn't appear to be drunk. He doesn't appear to be on drugs.
And that's the last time we have him on video surveillance.
Everywhere Dahvonte was picked up on security camera is a very normal, safe place to be walking. There's no suspicious activity. This is where all the mom and pop shops are. It's a very normal place to see someone walking every day, all day. After reviewing the pattern and the path that Dahvonte is seen walking, it doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all. It's all within a couple-minute walking distance of the hotel that he's staying at. And it's a beautiful day, and he's just casually out on a stroll.
Did he seem distraught? Did he seem like he was all over the place? Did he seem like he was just walking, trying to get a breath of fresh air, and he was going to go back to the hotel? And we're like, oh my God, because this is just another key, piece to the puzzle.
He looked normal. He just looked like he was going for a stroll, enjoying the town. It seemed like he was chilling, minding his peace.
So then we received a tip that between 9:30 and 10 a.m., a local mail delivery person stopped and saw Dahvonte in the area of Rockefeller and Alma. He looked a little disoriented and asked for instructions to a hotel over on Alma Street. The mailman expressed to him that we don't have any hotels on Alma Street, but we have an apartment complex there, and gave Dahvonte directions to that. The Alma Street apartment complex is not near the Gold Creek Inn. The mailman later saw Dahvonte Morgan on Alma Street, but not near the apartment complex. So he stopped again and rerouted him to that area. Later, the same mailman located Dahvonte Morgan off of Rockefeller on Ski Bowl Drive. This time he did not stop to speak with him. So after reviewing all the surveillance and nailing down all the times we have spotted Dahvonte Morgan, we are looking to see, is he heading out of town or is he heading up the mountain so we can brush out? Or we're looking to see if he's picked up by someone, a vehicle, the girlfriend, we don't know.
Just because that he was last seen walking in downtown certainly doesn't mean that that's where he went missing. Our downtown is only 2 miles in length and very condensed. Once you get outside of the downtown, it's definitely easy to get lost.
In Mount Shasta, we have never had a case like this, and so it was extremely new to us and hard, and just hard to deal with because we don't have a detective unit. We have one officer at a time. We don't have search dogs. We don't have a lot of resources that a bigger city would have. By this time in the investigation, we had followed up on every lead, and we realized that we needed outside support. In my experience, this missing persons case was unusual, and it continued to get more unusual.
My name is Michael Burns. I was a former deputy with the Siskiyou County Sheriff's Office, and I ran the search and rescue program in Siskiyou County for about 7 years. We began a search and rescue for Mr. Morgan in the general area here. We set what we call a wheel, a hub. We did it at a half-mile radius from the parking lot right behind me at the library. We started off with canvassing the area with STAR volunteers, with vehicles, going door to door, handing out missing person flyers, asking anybody if they had seen Mr. Morgan walking or in the vicinity. That search area expanded into our wooded areas here. There's several wooded areas in that hub that we expanded into. We used search dogs. At that point, we were using air scent and tracking dogs in the wooded areas within our search hub.
They tell us the best time to start searching is that 24 to 48 hours after they gone missing, because after that, it's hard to like distinguish what has happened. By the time 48 hours came along, that's when we were reporting the missing. Honestly, I feel like those searches were just done because we could play long enough got to get it done. Not like done because, oh yeah, we're about to find him. What's going on? Like he's missing. Okay, well we need to go here. We need to look here. We need to look there. But it wasn't that.
We got one search that was just like so vague and just so like, we did that ourselves.
We expanded our searches out by asking Southern Oregon Search and Rescue to assist in our area. And we expanded out a mile outside of the area he was last seen and searched all possible areas. We expanded them as far as we could naturally take care of and use the resources for. Siskiyou County is 4 million acres of wilderness, the complete size of Hawaii. Outside of that, you have millions and millions of acres of just woodland where it would be impossible and a waste of resource to continue searching without any leads. I do feel that we went above and beyond and still are to this day.
In that search area that we searched, we did not locate anything pertaining to Mr. Morgan.
So as of 1 month into this investigation, we had followed up on every lead. We'd had search and rescue. We had multiple outside agencies as far down as San Francisco asking for help, the FBI, and we just still did not have any viable lead, and we were hitting dead ends.
We didn't have the biggest support from the police department, and we needed things to start rolling. I believe that this area in particular is known for all these dark side underworld type living, underworld as in KKK, cults, underworld fighting. I'm like, anything could have happened to Dahvonte. Anything.
This cheese and flavor is so cheesy, airy, and fluffy. How'd you do it?
That's right. It's like
I'll be right back, y'all.
All right, I'm back, y'all. I'm back, y'all.
We would go to supermarkets and feel like the loudspeaker and like we're going up different parts.
Still watch Disappeared episode 3.
Places that people really normally aren't like going to. We went in, but the people who were around the Mount Shasta were like not inviting, and they definitely didn't want us there.
It's also definitely a predominantly white area. Very handful of black people that stay there. It wasn't ultimately comfortable. It's known that we found out being out there they had like active KKK and her like the leader or somebody who runs the KKK drive through the town like a Confederate flag like on the side of the truck. That was something we had to see every day.
My interaction with everybody was peaceful, but now Shasta is, I hate to say it in this day and age, racist. That wasn't too helpful.
We would spend the whole day putting up flyers. Like we would spend all the way hours. We'll come out the next morning, they all be gone. Except for like a few. Even some stores are taking them down after we put them up in there. Why are people taking it down? Is it just because it's a black male that's missing up here? Or is it because there's somebody somewhere that doesn't want him to be seen and broadcast on a bigger level across town because something malicious might have happened? I remember we went up to a campsite and we began to show him like flyers. Like, have you seen my brother? Took the flyer and was like, no, we ain't seen him. But we do. We'll tie him to a tree in the back, give you a call. Same person pulled out guns on us. It was like we had to leave off the property. It was upsetting.
We knew that we were in an area that was not safe for us. We were told, don't come this way, don't look this way. We got a bird, what was it, like a chicken foot thrown at us? A live chicken foot thrown at us while we were putting up fires. It was like the Twilight Zone up there, seriously. And when nightfall, it was just a different feel. Like, it seemed nice, but when that nightfall, you see what it really, the skeleton of the town, the dark side of the town. We definitely made it clear that we were here for peace, but we definitely didn't back down either. No one was going to drive us away. We made that clear.
Hate crimes do have to be reported to the Department of Justice, and I know for a fact in the last 10 years that I've worked for the department, we have not reported them.
We are Mount Shasta, and we are very equality based and would love diversity. We are a community of a lot of different people. We were founded by Italian immigrants who came to work in the lumber mill. That's kind of how it started. And we are still a majority Italian American community that has now grown. And our surrounding communities are largely diverse, more so than we are, but we would welcome diversity with open arms.
We were walking on public property, and then you'll just get into private property, and you don't know. So you'll be told and you'll be warned. And I think he was murdered by someone for that. But as I started learning of all what took place, I'm like, Lord knows what could have happened.
I think he could have been targeted because he was an outsider from the city. If they were targeting black people out there, I don't know. I know, like maybe there was some foul play.
We are not a racist community. We are a community of love and respect and open arms and setting foot into this community, it would take 10 minutes to know that that's exactly who we are.
What is going on up here? Like, something's going on up here. It's not making sense. And then I heard on my older dude, he was walking up Burger King. And I was like, oh, excuse me. Like, you think I could have a moment of your time? I want to talk to you about my brother. He's like, your brother? He's like, Dahvonte's your brother? I'm like, yeah, like, Dahvonte, like, that's my blood brother. And he told me, this is what I personally heard. He said, these guys drove him somewhere and then was like, try to rob him for his money. My brother's not going for it. So, fought, and like, they ended up stabbing him and pushing him in the river.
Are they for real? Are they really? Are they for real, man? Did this really happen? Did they really say that?
Confirming that Dahvonte Morgan had not been at that area. A white van and went to a rural area out in the woods behind our lake called Twin Arrows.
It's a wooded campground up behind Lake Siskiyou, about 4 miles outside of town.
We did send an officer out there and were not able to locate anything, and several people were contacted confirming that Dahvonte Morgan had not been at that area. After investigating the area of Twin Arrows and speaking to everyone, we did not feel it was important to search the river, so everything came to a dead end.
We put the money on the reward, but we would get these big stories from people, and it would just be like a dead end. We were distraught. We didn't know what to do.
At this time, the family has also offered a reward for his return. So having a reward with a missing person is great and does generate lots of good leads, but unfortunately, there are some leads that come in where people are just trying to take advantage of the reward money with no factual evidence. In February 2021, almost a year later, Dahvonte Morgan is still missing, and we still don't have any hard leads. Once you're entered into a database for missing persons, which is a nationwide database, anytime a body is located that matches the descriptors, they will then put a hit out that, hey, this is a possible match. So we now are looking for DNA from family relatives so we can enter that into the DNA database to help us generate new leads.
So it took me a while to do it because I was scared, I was nervous, I didn't want to because I thought maybe they might have found him dead. But I did have my DNA taken here.
On September 17, 2021, we got a possible match, a male matching the description of Dahvonte Morgan, who was unfortunately burned up in a fire. They were found in Jackson County, Oregon, which is approximately an hour and a half away from us. And so we took it as a very good lead. Unfortunately, because he was burned, we had to go into dental records and then DNA. It was at that point eliminated that it was not Dahvonte.
It's frustrating that my nephew is still not here.
police never offered any helicopters, never a search party bigger than my family and a few people in town, and it didn't even seem like they cared enough about my brother.
To this day, almost 3 years after the initial investigation started, we still have the case open. We are still actively getting interest in the case, and we are still getting information, and we are following up on every lead that does come in. And I know the family does feel that we are not doing enough, but we are a very small department, and this was a very, very big case and a very big workload for our department and the few officers that we did have. And I do believe throughout the community, my police department, Dahvonte's family, we all want the same thing. We want to find Dahvonte. In my 10 years in law enforcement with the Mount Shasta Police Department, this case does haunt me because this is not the type of community we live in.
As a mayor and as more so just a community member of Mount Shasta, we would really love him to be found. One of our community members is missing and we want him back.
I don't think he's passed on because I don't feel that. And I believe my son is still out there and he can't, for whatever reason, he can't come home. He can't call us. He can't, I don't know what the reason is, but whatever it is, I feel he's still there and he's waiting for my help.
We tried to get his girlfriend to help us, but she hasn't. I think his girlfriend was straight up the cause of him being missing. I believe that there's so much more to her story, and I want and I pray that one day that her conscience will heat her up so much to where she'll come forth.
There's not 1 second, not 1 second that goes by that I don't think about it.
I just try to keep hope, keep understanding, but holding on to this hope is also hard. And I missed you, Dahvonte.
Yeah, I just want to let him know that how much I love him and how much him being gone has affected the whole family. And not just our family, our community.
Our family has not been the same since he's been missing. Since he's been gone. We can't do nothing without remember his smile, his laugh, his handsome face, my beautiful eyes, and just a good person. He meant well. He walked with love, with purpose. I won't answer. I want to be able to close this up, get it up, say it happened, and be thankful that we know what happened, and move on. Try to find some peace in what has happened, whatever that may be.
Spread my brother's name. If you know anything, please let us know.
I'm just asking the public if you know anything, please contact us. Anybody that can help me bring my son back home.
Kristen did not run away. She was abducted and taken.
Unless it's your own daughter, nobody cares.
This is where Kristen fell into this dark world of child sex slavery.
Kristen was being sold for $10,000. Every parent's Kristen. Oh, you guys are killing me.
That picture makes me feel anger.
All right. Well, folks, that's going to be it. I'm getting out of here. I will be streaming the new racing game, Team Sonic Racing, tomorrow. So be prepared for that. Till then, I'll see you guys this afternoon for Team Sonic Racing tomorrow. gonna be my very first time streaming the game. Hopefully the quality doesn't mess up. Stay safe and blessed always. Acknowledge me. I'm out of here.